Troy, what do 1964, 2006, and 2025 have in common?
They're all years.
Correct. And they are all years that Doctor Who Season 2 released.
No way! Oh, do you ever get confused by Doctor Who's numbering?
Yeah, man. All the time.
Which one are we reviewing today? Are we reviewing Season 2? Are we reviewing Season 2? Or are we reviewing Season 2?
The first one.
The first one? We're going back to 1965.
No, 2025.
Wow.
2025.
That's the third one, Crispy. Get it right. Welcome to Doctor Who, where numbering always makes lots of sense. And welcome to our podcast. Roll the intro.
Hello, and welcome back to Who's There, a Doctor Who podcast. My name is Crispy, his name is Troy, and we're the hotline that accepts your calls from anywhere in time and space. And today, we are dissecting the season that was Season 2 of Doctor Who, the most recent season. A divisive season, in the end. Troy, how you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. I'm excited for this dramatic retelling of Season 2 with your new camera angle with its Dutch tilt.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I rearranged for all of our beautiful video watchers on the YouTube who can see the background. I've completely changed the room. My girlfriend put like all these lovely. I don't know if I can really show you all of it, but everything's like kind of placed nicely now. And there's the Cyberman head over there. But anyway, I've completely changed.
Most importantly, he's got a boom arm for the mic.
Yeah, I've got my boom arm back, finally, after a year and a half or however long it's been.
Yeah, if you've ever heard any rumbling, just like something being knocked around, that's Crispy moving his mic and the levelator picking up. I filtered out a good chunk of it, but at some point I just kind of went, there's going to be some of it, people will cope. But now you don't have to.
And now we're good. We're back,
this
baby.
Is it. If this is the one thing that's been holding you back, subscribe now. You get even better audio.
Yeah, thank God.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here, as Crispy said, to talk about Season 2 of Doctor Who and give our thoughts. It's almost like it ended nearly a month ago, which is kind of crazy, because we've had so much to talk about. Like, last year, the Season 1 review came out the week after we reviewed Empire of Death. We were just on it. But there's been so much else to discuss that it's just kind of been a bit mad.
We lost a doctor. We got a new doctor in, question mark.
Or have we?
You were so close with the guessing of the Doctor Who magazine thing.
Oh, I know.
You were like, they're not gonna do the is the Doctor thing. Yeah, they're not gonna do the introducing Billy Piper as the Doctor, or whatever they say. Billy Piper is the Doctor. But this one they did that, but with a question mark. But I was like, damn it, Troy was close. Troy was on the money that they weren't gonna do something the same thing.
Which makes like they can do is the Doctor with a question mark. I should have known they'd do that. But yeah, I just felt like it was going to be oh hello, which made more sense. But
I really, I would have bet money. I would have bet money that they were going to do that.
Well, I'm glad we didn't, because now we don't get to be even more poor than we already are.
Exactly.
Anyway, we're here to take your calls, so we're going to just go. I think we just get into it. Listen to some calls and discuss Season 2, because I have an outlying overall thought about the season, and I'm intrigued to see if the calls line up with it.
Okay. Let's listen. Let's go right off the bat.
Let's do it.
Listen to our first caller from this particular round of calls, who was Sam from Cybus Industries.
Hello, Sam.
Thank you, Sam. Welcome back. Here we go.
Hello, I'm Sam and I work at Cybus Industries, and my opinions on Season 2 is very unpopular. I actually liked it, but I didn't think it was as good as Season 1. Season 1, you had your booms, your 73 yards, your dot and bubbles, your rogue, your Legend of Ruby Sundays, and Season 2 I did really like at the start, but then I feel like the story in the engine, the Interstellar Song Contest, and then the finale wasn't as good as the start of the series, whereas Season 1 started off a bit rocky, but then I think the middle was really, really good, and then obviously Empire of Death wasn't great, but overall I did prefer Season 1, I have to admit. I really did.
Wow. Cooking from the get-go with the opinions. Interesting. Well, Troy, that raises a very interesting question for you right now. Which season do you prefer, Season 1 or Season 2?
Season 1.
Whoa!
Yeah,
I'm a big Season 2 man myself.
See, this is the thing.
Big Season 2 man myself.
I think part of it plays into what I've said already, which is that a lot of people just outright prefer Belinda to Ruby. I don't. I much prefer Ruby, and that's even before Belinda kind of had very little to do in the second half of her season. But I just preferred Ruby anyway, and I've said this on record repeatedly. You don't need to keep hearing me say it. But the only thing I think that was a hot take there was him saying that the story in the engine wasn't quite so good. I feel like most people really liked that episode. I was surprised he said that, but the common thing with season 2 is that a lot of people there's a lot of people who don't love the Interstellar Song Contest, and then certainly the 2-part finale is where you lose a lot more people. And the thing I'm waiting to hear a lot of people say is that, the season sucked because of that. And it's kind of a shame, because I've definitely seen that opinion already, and it's more that, it's a shame that the finale not landing for people has ruined the overall season, because the number of people leading up to the finale who were like, this is an all-timer season, we're on such a good streak. It's like, is a bad finale enough to ruin an entire season? Series 6 would suggest not. I'm joking. Series 6's finale is not that bad, Crispy. It's not that bad. I like it. Said that just to get a reaction, and he pulled a great reaction.
Goodness. That's a trigger word for me if you say anything against Series 6. Okay, interesting. Yeah, no, this season is such an interesting analysis, because at the start everyone was saying Doctor Who is back. Doctor Who is back. The first 4 weeks, the first 3 weeks, I think everyone was like, wow, we are.
Apart from us, because we watched the first one and kind of went, I mean, it's all right.
I think Robot Revolution probably is one of the weaker shooty stories. I don't know. I think
it's my least favorite episode of his era, to be honest.
I was about to be like, I wonder what's mine. I know what mine is, and you know what mine is. But
because you have no taste.
No, I think Space Babies is an issue. I think it's an issue.
I think your opinion's an issue.
Whoa, conflict. Generate views. All right, here we go.
Subscribe now. We're nearly at 3K, actually. Get us there, please. Thank you.
If anyone wants to subscribe, please feel free. We're very thank you everyone for helping out. The past few months on the channel have been brilliant, and we're having a lot of fun with it. So thank you.
And we discussed before we started recording, but our review of the Reality War, the live stream on YouTube, is now the most watched thing on our YouTube channel. Yeah. Not counting shorts. There might be shorts that have done better. I don't know. But in terms of videos and or live streams, the thing it had to beat was the clip of David Tennant eating the cake with my face on, which had 7,500 views, and it's just past that.
And it has now. So thank you very much for tuning in for that. That was a wild day. That was truly a wild day.
Oh, if only we had a follow up for that coming in the next few weeks.
If only Troy met David Tennant again.
If only he'd held my Sonic.
Excuse me? It's my father you're talking about. All right, here we go.
We'll find out more about that at the same time. What?
Let's listen to another call. Let's listen to another call. Let's have Noah.
Noah, okay.
Hello, Noah. I want to know what you're gonna say. Here we
go.
Oh,
good. That's good.
Overall, it was an incredibly strong season. Definitely one of my favorites. There really isn't an episode that I would give less than a 9 out of 10. I just thought that the whole season kind of went unresolved. The whole era, really, for Ncuti went unresolved. I'm very sad to see him go. He is one of my favorite Doctors. And I just think if we had gotten the ending that was intended with 15 and Belinda doing the dance party, I thought it would have wrapped things up more nicely, but it was still, really strong.
So mad at Disney Plus Germany for giving us that screenshot of the party, because that has been
giving us hope.
That was the match to light 100 fires on Twitter.com. Because, leaks are one thing, but as soon as you have a visual image to back it up that was accidentally showcased on a landing page, it's not good. Now, interestingly, Noah said every episode was at least a 9 out of 10. Does that include the Reality War?
I don't know. That's cool, Noah. Noah, are you there? Hello?
Good taste, Noah. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely think, this is... I had so much more... you can prefer Season 1, but I had so much more fun with this season. Maybe it was because Season 1, I set the expectations through the roof. I was like, this is the biggest thing that's ever happened to Doctor Who since I started watching. This is going to be revolutionary. We're on streaming. We're going to try and break into the streaming age. And... with Season 2, I went in with much lower expectations, and I felt like even the bar of stories, especially towards the start, was raised. I was like, okay, we're doing this. We're really, really doing this. So, yeah. I mean, I'm glad Noah enjoyed it. I'm really glad Noah enjoyed it. That's all.
Well, it's funny. I have said, and I continue to say, Season 1, rewatching it, especially binging it, it's much better in hindsight. And I liked it anyway. But rewatching it and going back over the stories, I was like, this is a really good season. It's better than I remember it being.
Yeah, there's just I don't know. It is a good season of Doctor Who. There are much worse seasons of Doctor Who.
Like Series 6. No, I'm just...
Hey,
I'm going over throats today, mate. I'm going over throats.
You watch it, son.
And I like that season as well, so I kid.
What is your least favourite season of Doctor Who?
Probably... I don't want to be like... I don't want to have the basic opinion and say Series 11, but kind of Series 11.
I don't know if I want to reveal this.
And I don't even dislike it. I enjoy it. But like, if I had to rank them, it probably would find itself at the bottom.
Troy, do you know... did you see a tweet the other day where someone was like, "Hey, I've made this thing on Excel, and you can type in all your scores for every episode, and it will spit out which season is your favorite on average, which writer is your favorite on average, which monsters you like, average." Have you seen that?
I have not.
Oh, I did it like the other night because I was like, "Oh, I'm intrigued by this actually," because I think I really do want to make a video where I rank. Or I do like a series ranker, but I use this thing and shout out this.
I just started rewatching the show. This would be a perfect time to put those scores in as I go.
I think you should do that. But yeah, I wanna do it for the channel. But I for all of it, this is a Who's There exclusive. This will be months before I do the video. I did every episode as a whole score. You can go into like full decimal places. You can be like, oh, I reckon this episode was like a 6.74 type thing if you wanted to. But I did like whole numbers for every episode in the new era. And the season that was on the bottom shocked me. Do you want to guess what it was?
Are you going to reveal it on the podcast?
I will reveal. Yeah, this is exclusive for everyone here. But you have a guess as to what it was.
Series 1.
No.
Because when I was rewatching that, I'll admit, I was like, I'm not sure this is as strong as I remember it being. Maybe that's a hot take, but
the perfect season of Doctor Who.
It's a great season. But like, I remember when we debated the Rusty Davy series, I was like, I'm not sure if series 1 or 2 is better. Now I'm in hindsight, I'm like, nah, series 2 is better.
Then season 1.
I like series 2 more.
Oh, absolutely not. That's my least favorite Russell series. I don't know.
The way you caught yourself there. Okay, yeah, no idea. Maybe
it was.
Oh, it can't be Series 6.
It wasn't. I would have told you that sooner. It was Series 10.
Wow.
It was Series 10. One of like I think is like, Capaldi's like in his prime. I
his
absolutely
best season,
adore.
yeah.
And for some reason that was at the bottom of the list. I couldn't believe it. I looked at the math and it all worked out. So I'm gonna have to, whenever I do it again, I'm gonna have to do decimal places to be like, all right, we're really getting to the answers here.
I refuse to let Series 10 be so low. Let's bring in the decimals. Let's change it.
Well, I mean, and then there were a lot of series that had like the exact same score, so I would like something a bit more definitive.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, that shocked me. So in a video in the future, that may be, my least favorite series, according to math, is apparently Series 10. Which I just don't agree with. I truly don't agree with. Anyway, that's a little side tangent.
Anyway, next call. Let's have Mr. Scarlo.
Hey, Scarlo.
It started off really good. Robot Revolution was fun. Lux, the Well, Lucky Dean, the story and the engine was a banger 4-episode run. And then Interstellar onwards, there was flaws. It could have been so much better. I would overall say it's better than the last series, but oh man, Reality War is a new low for me.
I like how he almost turned to Chris Chibnall for a second there. I was like, it could have been a lot better. There's too much running down corridors.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, it is. It's just like it's the same with the first season, if not worse. Because Empire of Death, I feel like definitely left a bad taste in everyone's mouth. But the Reality War, I think, is flawed, but one of the biggest things from that is the Billy Piper of it all, which we have talked about at length last week's episode. Is it Billy?
I've lost track at this point. Yes?
I think so.
Question mark?
Gosh, it's hard to keep it all straight. No, we said goodbye. It was the week before.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
It's all happening. It's all very fast.
It's all hip hop happening.
I just think there's some strange decisions in the Reality War, and that the lasting effect. Do I think it's as bad as people are making it out to be? Absolutely not. I think there's some genuinely good stuff in the Reality War, some baffling decisions, but I think Billy Piper at the end really it's an interesting one. It was an interesting one for people.
Incredibly, yeah.
Let's listen to Ant.
Hello, Troy and Crispy. Ant here from Joy's Audience. the country of Troy's audience, where it's boiling right now. Anyway, my thoughts on season 2. It was a lot better than season 1. I really think Shooty got to shine. The only episode that I think was a dud, in my personal opinion, was Story in the Engine. Other than that, all the other episodes, he really got to shine in, even in the ones where he wasn't really there, being who he did. And yeah, I do think it's one of the most unique seasons of the franchise. Anyway, that's it for me. See you.
Hot take.
Wow, that's 2 people who weren't major on Story in the Engine.
What is this agenda? I think the Story in the Engine is one of the most original stories we've had in years. The main criticism I had with it was the middle act, where there's a lot of characters in the room that aren't doing anything
at all.
And
yeah,
I suppose Belinda is kind of shoved to the side in that story as well. But I think the concept of the Doctor having like a safe space, like I love that. And you know, an engine being run by stories at a barbershop is genius. Anyway, but I'm sorry, but it is like a stage play, because the person, Anua Elms, that wrote it is a playwright. So it does feel like it's a bit of theatre, which, you know, is not everyone's cup of tea, but I really liked it.
Yeah, like I don't walk away from it being like it's the best episode I've seen in a while. I know a lot of people feel like that's fair, but I do still think it's a very strong episode. Like, I really like it. It's just I don't think it quite. I didn't come out of it going, that's the best thing I've seen in ages. So
yeah, agreed.
But it's fun. It's really fun. But this just goes to show you here on Who's There Doctor Who podcast, all opinions are welcome. Unless you don't like the 13th Doctor, as we previously established, then you're not welcome. Get out. Yeah. Right, next opinion. Let's have Lando. I see you're looking at Lando.
Lando
Calrissian?
Yeah, nice. Here we go.
Oh, okay. We went for 2 variants.
Hi, Troy and Crispy. Thank you so much for bringing us this podcast. I just really wanted to say that I loved Shooty on the show, as I know you did. He brought so much joy to the part, really. I think it's the perfect casting, like they always seem to do. Every single Doctor, I think, is amazing casting. And, you know, you can say whatever you like about production decisions, but I think everyone, apart from some people on Twitter, are agreed that he's one of the best Doctors.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's
well, you
fantastic.
love him. I still, like, here's the thing. With Shooty, like, I think he is a fantastic actor and he really brought a lot to the role of the Doctor. I think I'm just shell-shocked because of how little time we have with him, that I still can't... I don't know if I could do a Doctor's ranking yet. I don't know if I could. Because it feels
calling
like
out Josh Snares. Wow.
I feel like... Oh, no. You can rank every episode.
Oh, no, they've done each era ranking. Never mind, I'm getting confused.
Yeah. No, each era. I couldn't... Like, I just don't know where... I'll call out Josh Snares any day of the week, though. You watch me, Josh Snares.
Hello. Down boy.
I love Josh Snares so much. But, yeah, I just feel like, you know, Shooty Gatwa is like... If I had to put it in words, imagine you're at a party, and you see one of your old mates say, "Oh my God, that's Matt Smith. We had some great times together. We had some really, really good times." And then Peter Capaldi's there and be like, "Oh my gosh, you told me so much. You were inspirational." And then Shooty Gatwa, you get like a 5-minute conversation with, and it's like the best 5-minute conversation. Like, all right, I got to go. My Uber's here, and you're like, "God, I wish we could have kept talking. I wish we could have just had another beer, mate. I wish we could have had a boogie on the dance floor." But Shooty's out of there. He's got to go. He's got other things on. So I feel like that's where I'm at. Like I feel like I just got into this friendship with this Doctor, and now the friendship's all of a sudden over. And I'm like, I wanted more.
Yeah.
Is that too much to ask for?
That was a really good summation, I'll be honest. Like, I was like, damn, did you think of that just off the top of your head?
Yeah.
That was good. That was really good, man. You should do like improv.
I do sometimes. Sometimes I do improv.
Do more.
Whoa. Look at this capitalism. Whoa, it's artsy. I don't know.
What?
You know like improv. You know, like improv theater troupes where they're like all dressed in black and they just walk around funny and they're like, capitalism, destruction.
You
and I in the same theater circles. Anyway, don't worry about it.
It's just really funny that I went do more improv and the first thing you went was, whoa, capitalism.
Whoa, capitalism. Anyway.
Like, yeah, man of the people, let's go. Woo!
Yeah, that's me. But yeah, thank you, Lando. Right. Yeah, we'll miss Shooty.
We have a regular feature at this point, and I mean, well, a regular pun. You know what I mean, Crispy?
Well, no. What?
I need to know what Matteo's got to say.
Oh, very nice. Hello, Matteo.
Howdy, it's Matteo. I'm in bed with my dog right now. I like season 2 for the most part. I kind of just wish Belinda had like a more consistent character. Wish World was split into 2 parts. Like, just kind of get rid of Interstellar Song Contest. Show off Wish World Part 1 there, Wish World Part 2, and Wish World. Don't do the ending. I didn't like the ending. No giving Belinda baby. No Billy Piper. Thank you.
Yeah. Fair enough. Good suggestions, because I love Wish World.
3-part finale. Woo!
Russell would have done well with a 3-part finale. I think like these episodes had enough to like fill 3 episodes, regardless of having to do last minute reshoots. So I think a 3-part finale is a good shout. Because the like a lot of the main complaint of Wishworld was like everyone was like, I wanted to spend more time there and kind of delve deeper into Wishworld and Conrad and why the world is the way it is, and more time with the Rani, more time understanding them, maybe give a bit more fleshing out of the relationship between Mrs. Flood and the Rani. I think there was that's a pretty good shout. But
and also give more time to Ruby and Shelley in that first episode. We're going to bring down God, and they're just sat under the Bone Palace looking through it on an iPad.
And then the days reset, and it's like, oh, okay, bugger. I really thought they were going to infiltrate somehow. But the main thing brought up here, and I'm sure other people will bring it up as well, is Belinda Chandra. Let's be honest. The Robot Revolution, sure, not our favorite episode, but I was loving the early idea of Belinda and the promise of Belinda. I think that
confrontation angle I really liked. Yeah.
I mean, that's the most interesting thing. The whole "Get Me Home" is fantastic. You know, it would have made the season better with everything if you know how we ended up at the end with Belinda being a mother. I think we spoke about it. The popular thing that people talked about was if there was some kind of mention that Belinda couldn't have kids or something. It had some kind of mention about kids.
Yeah.
Like there was never a conversation about Belinda like wanting to settle down, or she's always wanted to raise a kid, or she couldn't raise a kid, or something like that. It just seems so surreal that you're going to set up at the start of the series being like, get this woman home, and then by the end of it, you don't make a big deal about getting her home at the end. You give her a baby instead. We just needed one scene where, they rock up back home and be like, well, we did it. This is it. Thank you so much. And, I really do wonder if Belinda's dad was singing at that party.
Well, it was confirmed by, wasn't it, his casting agency? It was reported at the time
that he was supposed to be in the episode.
He was meant to be in the episode. Like, they were like, oh, I can't remember the actor's name, but like, this guy's playing whatever Belinda's dad's name was.
I think he was supposed to be in episode 1 as well, from what I read.
Really?
Yeah, and that got cut.
That's interesting, because I couldn't really even imagine them being in the first episode.
Apparently the parents were in the opening episode. It might have been in like more of the flashbacky sequences or something.
Maybe. Yeah, my mum and dad, flashback.
Yeah. I just find it interesting that there was just some really, really good stuff set up. I thought she was excellently used in Lux, and even better so in The Well, where she's like, I'm on it. I'm on my A game. She kind of figures out the creature. She's able to help out with medical stuff, and she even like references what she learnt in the Robot Revolution, where she's like, oh, this is like Cerulin or whatever that was. Do you remember what that thing was? Anyway, I was like, this is a cool companion. And then from episode 4 onwards, it slowly evolves into a different character. I think. Don't you think?
Well, I mean, she had started to lighten up on him even from Lux onwards, so, like, I don't know about feeling like a different character, but more softening up to him. I think the bigger issue, she just didn't have a lot of agency towards the end. Like, the most notable thing she has in the story in the engine, she lets 15 go off and have his little adventure. Maybe he has, like, 1 or 2 lines where she stands up to the barber in the barber shop, but that's basically it. There's not much else going on there.
It's strange. It is strange. And then,
then she had a chance to be more confrontational in Stellar Song Contest, and she tried to be a little bit, but very quickly brushed it off. Like, there wasn't enough of a challenge there. Like, it's incorrect people say there wasn't any confrontation, because there was. It was just very, very, very underbaked.
Yeah, I agree. Completely agree with that. I just... and then the problem is, as Like, I'm usually the first to defend, like, oh no, you can do a Doctor Who season in 8 episodes, but we just didn't get enough time with it. Like,
I still feel the same for both seasons. I just don't think 8 is enough. I just don't think it's enough.
Yeah.
I think once we got to 10, it was a point where I was like, okay, let's not knock it down any further than this, because we had 13. 13 was great. 12, fine, okay. 10, it's like, it's have you seen that meme where it's like the guy like slicing up the pizza, and it's like, okay, more slices. That's enough slices. It's like, stop splitting up the smaller runs. Stop it.
Do you know that's Anthony Fantano?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Internet's busiest music nerd.
Yeah, cool.
And on that note, transition to another caller.
Yeah, sure. All right, let's
hear. That was pretty good, that, man. That's pretty good.
That was good, man. Let's listen to... I'm just trying to see... Like, Robin? I don't recognise Robin.
Okay,
let's see. Do you want to listen to Robin?
It's not Robin from Liverpool.
No, okay, Robin. Here we go. Hello, Robin. How you doing?
Season 2 was actually really good. Like, the only issue was the last episode. Like, all the episodes were good, apart from the last one. Because she deserved more time as the Doctor, as we all know. He should have had more episodes, or another series, or all of the above, preferably. And then Belinda was shaping up to be one of the best companions we'd seen in quite a while. But no, they decided to brutally assassinate her character with whatever that was. Also, Piper. Need I say more?
We'll see.
Yes, because I really like your Scottish accent. Say a lot more.
Yeah. Good accent. Great accent. Keep it.
Yeah, keep it. You can keep it. You can hang on to it.
Keep that one. Yeah, have that one.
The Billie Piper thing, like I said, I knew I would kind of get over it, and I kind of said at the time, I was like, as they explain more, but they haven't even explained more, I've just kind of mellowed and gone, it is what it is, we're in that situation. I'm very good at just kind of going, just get on with it, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's still very much Shooty was gone too soon. That is like almost a whole other thing. It's funny to even think about that argument in season 2, because like we've already had such an extensive discussion of it in several episodes already. But that is a part of season 2, is that the 50th Doctor is gone by the end, which is just insane. And it's funny because like I know that some of my opinions, especially in this era, have drastically contradicted with other people's. Like I think season 1 might be better on the whole, even though I think I've got more 10 out of 10s in season 2 than season 1. Like I think maybe because I prefer Ruby, I'd be more likely to stick on a season 1 episode than season 2 one. I think that's where my head's at. But also, yeah, just I was never as strong on Belinda as everyone else. I liked her, but like right off the bat, everyone's reception to her was like, "Oh, she's gonna be good." And I was watching, and I was like, "Yeah, she's good. She's good. I like Spellman's character."
I think it was just something different. Well, not different. I mean, we've had like reluctant companions and stuff in the past, but I feel like Ruby was just like the ultimate like new Who girl.
Yeah.
Whereas a reluctant companion, it felt almost classic. Like Ian and Barbara, they got kidnapped from the Doctor. Essentially,
which is crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, which is so like I think maybe that kind of played into it because it was something different, and it wasn't the promise of time and space. It was this is cool and all, but get me home. And then eventually she kind of mellowed out. But yeah, I don't know. It is interesting. It is interesting looking back at those two series, and they're vastly different series, season 1 and season 2, but I think now is a better time as any, because throughout many of our episodes we've been like, we got to wait until season 2 comes out. It's all part of the plan, all part of the 26 episode order or whatever the heck. So how do you feel at the end of it, Troy? How do you feel at the penultimate episode, apart from the spin-off show we're going to get?
But I mean, it was definitely proven that Russell did have a 2-season plan. The effectiveness of it is, that's whatever, that's debatable. But it all comes down to the Rani. It's been building up to the Rani across 2 seasons. I feel like the first season maybe not quite as... Like it's the presence of Mrs. Flood that leads into it, and it's that unanswered question of who she is that is then answered in season 2. But
do you think he knew from the get-go that she was going to be the Rani?
I have a feeling, yes.
I just think it's strange.
Well, Shooty said he wants to face the Rani, so all he had to have done was to have said that early in his relationship with Russell for him to then write it in. It depends on at what point Shooty said that. Like, of course, you could argue they might have been halfway through filming his entire run, and then he kind of joked to Russell, "It would be funny if we got the Rani." And then obviously he looks aside and like almost looks to camera and goes, "That's who Mrs. Flood is." Okay, like it's entirely possible either way. He put a picture in the newest Doctor Who magazine that was like a picture of his 16-episode plan. that almost pretty
Yeah, I
much
saw
stayed
that.
the exact same title-wise, that kind of thing. Like, he was trying to explain that. And the one theory I still don't buy into, regardless of what anyone says to me, I don't buy that Ruby was meant to be a 2-season companion and was whacked down to 1. Maybe it's just because of the way that Lucky Day was done and the way Ruby was brought back into it in the finale. It just felt right. It felt like she was another Martha Jones. She was someone who was there for a series and then got to have a recurring appearance in the second season that just felt right. Maybe that's why. Maybe my inner Martha fan just kind of sees that in Ruby and goes, that works well. But I just don't buy that Ruby was going to be the companion for both.
There's just some interesting thing, like when in Space Babies, when they walk in and Poppy's there and she's like, Daddy or whatever, and then the doctor's like, oh no, we're not your mum and dad or whatever. That's interesting. But that, like, this is like behind the scenes-y stuff. Allegedly, Belinda was only cast 3 weeks out from shooting, which I just think's interesting. I think that's an interesting thing.
I think you could argue that maybe that's because they were just doing a 2-season production block. There wasn't a pause there. And they really only need to worry about casting Belinda a little bit closer to the time. And also, you know, based the filming block, they were so busy focusing on Series 1, then they had to think about it, and then they were like, oh, hang on, Verada, let's have her in to be the companion. I think, you know, it's all well and good, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but, like, it's all well and good to be like, oh, you know, they cast it so close to Season 2, is that not a problem? But they've never filmed 2 seasons back-to-back before. You don't know what challenges or what differences there would be in how they film it and how they sort things. Like, would you want to be cast in a show that you don't then film for ages after because the previous season is still being filmed, or would you rather be cast right in the lead up to actually having the job? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like the Doctor,
anything
it's
could have
different.
happened behind the scenes.
Or even a companion leading up to a new era like Millie. Like, that's different. You're leading up to it, you got to advertise it. But if you're doing a 2-season production block, I mean, what are you going to do? Reveal both companions and say this one's not coming for 2 seasons? I don't know. So it could be a problem. I'm also just like, maybe it isn't.
If there was, we'll find out way later.
You are obsessed with getting like the writer's tale too, mate. I love it.
I genuinely, Troy, I don't think we will. I think there was a plan to. This is tinfoil hats on, but I think
here we go again. Here we go again.
It would, like, if they did it, it would sell like hotcakes, because I truly believe that the production, even the production of Russell's first series, it was a messy time, and things had to change, and budgets had to be cut, and X, Y, and Z. But there's a different conversation here. We have the introduction, of course, of social media, and Russell's very aware of the culture of everything. Like, he put #RIP Doctor Who into one of his scripts. So, like, he's very aware of this, and I just think, like, the entire Disney conversation, I think, like, that having that documented and how that went, and maybe that didn't necessarily go as they planned and things had to be changed. I just think there's a lot of interesting things that happen behind the scenes here that I would be very interested to read, absolutely, but I don't think that will come out. I don't think that's going to happen this time around.
Once you have Disney involved, there's probably also like contracts on things that can and can't be discussed.
Just a million things to sign. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's just, it's weird. I was going to say something else. I've completely forgotten. My brain.
That's all right, man. Let's listen to one more caller and we'll call it a day. Hey.
Let's go for a Scouse icon. Let's have Robin from Liverpool.
Yes, the other Robin. Hello, Robin. How you doing?
I thought the season was actually really good. I think it's a lot more consistent than last season, because I didn't really like Interstellar the Sub Contest, but all the other episodes have been banger after banger for me. So yes, probably like in the top half of my ranking of the new Who seasons. Respect.
I can't remember where season 2 ended up when I did that maths thing when I punched it into the Excel document. But yeah, I think when I look back at this season, I think I do look at it fondly, and the ending just gives me butterflies in good and bad ways. It just makes me anxious. It makes me anxious.
Yeah.
Because there's like things I enjoy, but like, you know, this show is in an uncertain time. How will you remember season 2, Troy? How is it for you? How does it sit in your heart?
It's for me, like detaching it from everything. It's a strong season that I did really enjoy, but like, and it's what I've talked about before, and we're going to get into this, I think, literally next week. Like, the whole leak culture of this era, as well as just general attitudes towards Russell. That was the thing I was going to say earlier. Like, there are some things he said that people have taken far too close to heart, like the generate content line. Like, every time I see someone moan about that, which if you don't know the context, which was that in the lead up to, I think, Empire of Death, there was like an Unleash clip from Russell where it was like, we set up this Susan Twist thing because, you were in the hopes that it will generate content. Like, this is just the modern, as you've said, social media equivalent of, we want people to talk about it with their friends, in school, in work, in whatever it is. Like, we're in the internet age, you want to show people are going to talk about. Like, that doesn't mean that he's suddenly lost his source and he's putting something in for the sake of it. He's making sure that something is set up so people will theorise it. Whether it was effectively handled at the end is a different story, but, like, the way in which I think the fan base has responded to this era, and specifically the second season of it, has kind of taken out some of the fun of being a Doctor Who fan for me. And maybe that's just because of, like, because I enjoyed the finale more and I've been in a minority, whatever, but just, I've never felt the need to mute an entire portion of the fan base on social so I don't see what they're saying. Not because I don't care for their opinions, because that's the whole point of talking about things with fandoms. It's always interesting to see other people's opinions. We don't always agree. I mean, you think Space Babies is bad. You're wrong, but you think it anyway. And
100% right.
No, like I enjoy like having that discussion. It's nice. But if all I'm seeing are people saying that Russell is like swear words, or he's lost all his talent, or blah 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 blah. Like, if you're just making baseless claims because you've seen one comment from him, or you've seen worst off leaks, and you suddenly think you know everything about the show, it's driven me round the bend. And it's a real shame that, like, that's the thing that really stands out to me. Like, there's a big Twitter account, I don't know if you've seen, called Bad Wolf Archives. He's like one of the biggest, like, Doctor Who fan accounts. Has just quit Twitter.
Oh, because
I've had enough. They're gonna have had enough of this fan base and just sticking to Instagram. Hell. And I don't blame them. I just don't.
Toxic
because
fandom's real.
It's just, as I've already said, and as I will no doubt get into again next week, the culture of, like, leaks and inside information for this particular era has made it a challenge to be a Doctor Who fan, because not everyone, but there's genuinely a subsect of fans that just feel entitled to know everything now, and because they've heard one guy whisper what might have happened behind the scenes, which, just because he's got a lot of stuff right doesn't mean everything is suddenly gospel. But, like, just because there's been some whispers now, suddenly we know more about the show, we're so much more invested in it, and therefore can pass judgment and everything, and I just don't think that's right. I think it becomes a bit too parasocial then. And I think because of the space that we're in as podcasters, we kind of need to be at least a little bit in touch with the fandom, and I also just like engaging with fandoms and things I like. It's just, it takes the fun out of it. And that's, like, genuinely, like, I see much less Doctor Who stuff on my feed now, and I'm kind of sad about that in some ways, but also I'm like, I don't need the aggro. And it's such a shame that in you asking me how am I going to remember season 2, my main comment was about the fandom and the stuff around it.
Wow.
Like,
well, hey,
it makes me sad
speaks
to say
volumes,
that.
man. That speaks volumes.
Because it's a strong season. It is a good season. Like, I genuinely have really liked 15's era right across both seasons. I think it's a really, really fun time. And sure, maybe that's because I like it more than the average person, whatever. But, like, I really do enjoy it. But, like, that element of it, I think it's going to be hard to shake, at least for a while. And especially because we're still in the wake of it, we don't know what's going on next. Maybe once we know, maybe people will settle down, maybe they won't, I don't know. But I just can't help but think back to the 13th Doctor's era. I can't help but think back to all the stuff Chris Chibnall got, and some of the people who were, like, defending Jodie's era, and other people being like, it's terrible, thinking, oh, when Russell comes back, it'll be different. But no, it's arguably worse. Yeah, it's arguably worse.
It's actually an interesting thought piece, being like, it's crazy. Remember back in 2022 or whatever, or 2021, we're like, oh, he's back, and it was like, oh, Doctor Who was saved. But I think, I mean, there's a million factors into it. This is really boiling it down, but it is interesting seeing Russell's era, like, but in the 2020s. Like that, that's what we're not in the mid 2000s here. We're in 2020s, and things are very, very different. And I reckon that was a bit of a shock to Russell. I truly think it was. But yeah, no, that's a shame, man. That's a shame. But a very, very fair and valid comment.
Yeah, it's just a shame. It's a shame. But overall, I did really like the season. Like, genuinely, like, splitting all of that from it. Some really strong episodes. Could some bits have been better? Absolutely. Especially what Belinda was given, I think, could have been stronger. And that is why, like, I'm not going to immediately dismiss the idea that Ruby was meant to be a 2-season companion. I still don't personally believe it. But I can understand why people think it based on how Belinda was done. And especially, I think the biggest thing was Juno Dawson saying, I didn't know who Belinda was, and she was a 30-year-old nurse, and that's it. Or did she even know the nurse bit? There was the nurse bit.
I
Was
don't know.
right?
It is weird that they had a nurse, like Belinda is a nurse, but in the story there is like a medical professional there.
Yeah.
One of the,
so I just, I could buy into the idea there, but like I still personally think that it just maybe just wasn't excusable with Belinda. Maybe because again, two season shooting block. Maybe they wanted the draft in sooner rather than later, and they hadn't properly planned out Belinda's character by the time they had it in. Who knows?
Who
I
knows?
don't know.
Anyway, what a sour note, but a valid sour note. What did you think of season 2? Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments.
It's just a shame, innit? You know, I think the
It
more
is a shame.
the more the fandoms become online, the worse it's got. Stephen Moffat got stuff when he was showrunner.
Dude,
you know, he got
showrunner
critiques.
gets it. I just feel like Russell would have got it back in 2005. It's just a lot harder to make a tweet back in 2005.
When you logged onto the internet after watching a Doc 2 episode in RTD1, you were going on the trailer maker, you were going on the comic maker, you were maybe watching totally Doctor Who. You know, you weren't logging on Twitter to say Russell is a hack. I saw a tweet literally that's had a picture of Russell of him just smiling next to TARDIS going, I hate his smug face. And calling him all sorts of stuff. And it's just like,
I saw that.
At what point do you just stop and just maybe log off for 5 minutes? Just take a breather.
Yeah.
You know, there's a limit. There is a limit to how far you should go with criticism, because if it's not constructive, why are you making it? Like, I firmly stand by that.
Yeah. Valid. He speaks the truth. He speaks the truth.
He does. We can do better, people. And not even the people listening to this podcast. You're all best.
If you're listening to this, you're beautiful and gorgeous.
That's the problem. I'm preaching to the choir when I say this stuff on here. But again, this is like Doctor Who therapy. It's constantly like that at the minute. But
we're doing it out of order. All right.
I genuinely, I don't know how popular it is right now. I really do think there's a decent chance Russell's going to go, and I don't want him to. I really want to see him do a season 3 or 4, especially because, as I've said, all the stuff he's done.
There is a chance.
Well, I hope, because all the stuff he's done season 1 and 2 was all done before it aired, at least most of it, and even the bits that were still being arranged after airing, it was too late to change anything really significantly to steer the direction away. He's seen everything people have said. Like, if you seriously think that he's not going to adapt and do something different based on what people have said, then I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know if that's a good thing. Like, that's a whole separate conversation.
I think it would. I think it'd be interesting to see if he tried to avoid some of the tropes people have not liked, like mystery old woman at the end of every episode. Like, if he tried to set something different up. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I suppose
it just depends whether you got faith in him as a writer anymore, and I still do, so I don't know.
I still definitely do. Like, it's funny looking back and, like, how... We'll wrap this up soon, but how loud everyone has been. But, like, I think 73 Yards is, like, one of my favourite pieces of television I've seen in years. Like, I adore it.
It is great.
That is a Russell-centric script, and so quirky and weird and brilliant and Welsh. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing. So no, I don't think I've lost faith in Russell as a writer or a showrunner. I think taking a big swing with Disney is kind of what the show needed. Will it pan out? I don't know, but I think on paper, being like, yeah, we've secured a deal with Disney, 26 episodes, two Christmas specials and a spin-off. That's incredible. That's amazing.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's wrap this up.
Yep, let's wrap it up. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to our thoughts on Season 2 of Doctor Who. As always, let us know what you think. You got the comment section, I think, on Spotify. There are comments there. I'm not sure if there are on Apple, but there are on YouTube. Make sure you leave us a review on somewhere like Apple. We said we were going to read Apple reviews.
Yeah, please.
We need to do that. So if you leave reviews on Apple, we might read them out. So you have to actually go do it. So go do it now. Go do it. And yeah, thank you all for listening. We'll be back next week where, as I've already alluded to, we're probably, depending on how the episode order goes out, we're probably going to do Doctor Who Leaks next. So keep an eye out for that. So. And the call-in actually might still be active for that by the time this episode goes out, so make sure you go and call in if you haven't already. But let us know what you think about the whole culture of leaks for this last era and how it's impacted your enjoyment of the show, if at all. And then will be even more therapy from me. Get excited. Who's paying my therapy bill at this point?
AdSense.
Thank you for watching, everyone. See you all next week. Until then, it's goodbye from Crispy.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Alonzi, baby.
Alonzi, baby.